Where is this?
Presents
I'm going to record her alarm then.
a tour around the school year. The first topic was a journey under the sea, and it was about what was this topic about? The Channel Tunnel, which is?
It's a train that is underneath the sea, and it travels from two certain.
What was the second topic? The London Marathon. Would you ever take part in such an event? Have you ever taken part?
I have never taken part in a marathon, but I would never take part.
How come?
I don't think there's anything enjoyable in running for so long.
I totally agree with the girl. I totally agree with the girl. However, Nicole here has
A different-
run a marathon.
You have, Nicole?
Me too.
And
Really, I'm amazed. I really feel it's a big thing. It's a great story to have done that.
what was that event?
We are at the same marathon.
Was it a charity event? Was it for a good cause?
No.
Or just an athletic?
We did track for 4 years, and we did a race.
It wasn't a money-raising event.
No, they ran. It wasn't a charity.
Yeah,
They ran.
okay.
We really talked about safety, and what attracted our attention is that children are not safe anymore, especially at schools. So we talked about bullying.
Bullying is anything that has to do with students getting assaulted, humiliated, threatened, degraded, intimidated, or abused by his or her classmate. There are 4 types of bullying. There's the verbal one, the physical one, the psychological one, and the cyberbullying. The verbal bullying is when people will talk mean to you and won't respect your emotions and your feelings and will make you feel really bad about yourself. The physical bullying is it happens more nowadays in school in older ages, and it usually starts with a push. When the kid pushes another kid down and other kids around laugh about it, that will give him the confidence to do it again and do it worse, just because he made people laugh. The psychological bullying, it's really similar to the verbal bullying because people threat you and make you feel like you're in danger. And the cyberbullying happens mostly to teenagers by older people that actually have the courage to hide behind the screen and say mean things to them, that anything that comes up on their mind, and make them feel low self-esteem, in danger, and usually they do it without showing their true identity. So if they know things about them, they make them feel like they're in danger, and they can't really do anything about it.
Before she goes on, let me ask you something, and let's all talk about it. Out of those 4 types of bullying she has just mentioned, which one do you think is higher in the number of incidents, in the number of times it happens?
Which is the worst? Probably you're asking which one is the worst.
No, the ones most often happening.
What happens more often in school?
Or not necessarily at school. Which one they are aware of, they know is happening mostly out of the 4 mentioned. Go back one. You'd like to go back. Yeah. Verbal bullying, physical, psychological, or cyber. Which one do you think? Yes, Nicole?
I think that nowadays is cyber, because a lot of kids are in their computers or phones and speak with others, and maybe a person will bully them from there.
Do you agree, guys? Do you agree? Yeah, I think so too. Okay. All right, sorry, you can go on, sweetheart.
And the things we can do to prevent bullying is take action and talk to the principal of the school or the teachers that are more sensitive about the situation. Talk to your parents or your guardians. Talk to other kids about it so they won't make fun of them. And all we can do is stand up for the people who are being bullied. And when they are being bullied, we should not laugh and help them to get out of that situation. Because bullies just want our approval and an audience, so they can keep going.
Yeah, well, I think what she just said is great. Bullies just want an audience.
This is true, though, eh? Yeah, this is true.
Thank
you very much. That was really great. So we can link everything. Okay, now, our Phantom wants a certain box from the opera. Does anybody remember what box the Phantom wants and why?
Box 5, because I think it was keeping his secrets.
The box was keeping his... What happened to the Phantom? Was he a ghost?
He wasn't the ghost.
How do we know he wasn't a ghost?
When he went to Raul's house one day, Raul shot him, and later on he dies at the end of the book. So ghosts can have bullets inside and they don't have blood to bleed, they don't have life, so they can die.
Which is when Raul realized he's not a ghost.
Yes.
A ghost does not bleed, right? Who is Raul? This is a new name for me. Who is Raul? Nicole?
Raul was the kid that when Christine was a young girl and her father taught them about the angelic voice. One day Christine's scarf went
Great entertainers. I liked that thing. I liked it very much. Who was your favorite?
I don't like anyone.
You didn't like anyone? Okay.
Although I find them boring, but I like Ben Affleck, who is an actor, and he played in Batman's movie as Batman.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. What about you, Nicole? Did you like anybody or do you have another favorite entertainer?
I have another
Entertainer.
Another favorite actor or actress?
Okay.
Mine is Ariana Grande, that is singer,
Yes.
and I like very much her songs.
You like your songs very much? Okay.
My favorite is Charlotte Church because her first album called Voice of an Angel. It reminds me the Phantom of the Opera and I love it.
Okay. You told me the book, I've never heard the name. Okay, yes?
And my favorite performer was Jim Henson,
Yeah.
the man who created the Muppet song, because he started making Muppets with simple ingredients.
Materials.
And he made it so big, and his little movies taught kids something.
Yes. Sesame Street, Muppet Show. Yes, of course. We have selected to do a project on football.
Okay.
And most importantly, on a problem football has, hooliganism.
Focus on football and especially in football. Hooliganism is unlawful behavior such as bullying and vandalism. British hooligans are notorious and they are also a threat to the community. On 29th of May.
You have to, yeah, in order to change, it causes, Okay.
On 29th May, the Hazel Stadium was drafted, in which the fans were escaping and they were pressed against the wall, which collapsed. And it was a match between, it was in the cup, the Euro Cup final, a match between Juventus and Liverpool, in which English
The Tower of London. So there's ghosts everywhere, right? So houses, operas, etc., etc. Okay, what does our ghost do? Back to the opera house. Where does our ghost live? Our phantom.
Our family.
Our phantom. Our friend.
He lives in the opera house, but he lives in his kingdom, which is under the opera house, and he has made his own house, which here it has passageways and one big river, and the place is magic.
It's magical.
Yes,
Why?
because he made the things to move along.
So we'll see that later, that they're moving everywhere. Okay, now, why is our ghost living under the opera? Why is he not with people? What happened to him?
he had his face burned, and he wears a mask, and he thinks that he's angry.
He thinks he's ugly. He had his face burned. How? When?
Back in his hometown, a fire started in the barn he lives inside, and his face got burned, and the doctors couldn't fix it with plastic surgery or anything like that. And the society would reject him because he was really ugly. And at last, his own mother made him wear a mask around here, and she rejected him when he wouldn't wear a mask.
And what did he do?
After
Marietta?
He left, and he went to a circus to sing.
Okay. And?
And here he met the Persian, and the Persian because he picked the phantom.
He pitied him, yes.
Yes, and he took the phantom with him in the opera house, and the phantom made his own house under the opera house.
Okay.
But before going to the opera house, the Persian took the phantom to Persia to Shah, that was the king,
The king of Persia, called the Shah, yes.
and wanted to build his kingdom palace with passageways and traps. And when they built this palace, Shah wanted to kill all of the builders, but the Persians saved the phantom and took him to the opera house.
He took him back to Paris, right, to save his life.
Which
Agreed?
was about,
Okay.
do you remember?
about anorexia.
About anorexia. Okay, and you also like,
Anorexia nervosa, hè?
yeah? And they also liked this passage, which was about
Japanese village in which people live
live
alone.
a lot, yeah.
150 years.
Wow. A lot. Okay. It's the job with the father at the age of 90, hit his son at the age of 60, who spoke badly to his grandfather at the age of 120. We said that, we talked about that. So, why do young people get anorexia? Why do young people, and especially girls, go?
Because they think that if they are thin, people will like them more and will be more popular.
What is your personal opinion about that? Do you agree?
No,
What is the bad thing about it?
because a lot of girls have died of this. And the barn.
Mm-hmm.
And the second text was about the village where people lived longer. What played a role there, Marietta? What made these people, what do you think?
Because they need fish and rice, which help them to live alone because it's very healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. They eat a lot of fish, they eat rice, they have a very relaxed life. Okay? This text was about emergencies. Have you ever been in such a situation? Mariana, have you ever been in a state of emergency?
I have never been in one.
What would you do if you did? What would the first thing be?
Well, it depends on the emergency, what situation it
Which would have been the worst case for you? The worst case scenario? Which,
is. Maybe a fire?
okay, a fire. You agree, Mariana?
Yes.
What would be a very difficult situation for you, Nico?
Back to the music. I'm changing your order to see what you guys did learn or did not this year. Going back to the music. Opera has what kind of music from what I can hear?
Of course, they play classical music, but some operas are performed with rock classical music. And in my opinion, I think it's better to perform rock classical music because it makes it more interesting and successful.
So that one you would go watch? Yes. How many of you would watch a rock classical opera? Okay. More than I expected. And a classical one? Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay. Going back to our tower here of London. No, going back to our opera, forget the Tower of London. We have two owners. Who?
Risardo and Monsalvino. Monsalvino and Risardo.
What happens to these people? Do they believe that there's a phantom?
No, because they've been the managers, the owners of the opera house, and so they didn't really.
First, I think that it was job for the previous managers, but then they realized that it was true because it happened strange things.
Strange things happen. And what did they receive?
Letter.
Which said? Do you remember? What did the letter say? Is
No
any-
one to see
In box.
in box 5.
That's one. What else did he say? Who did he want to be the lead singer?
He wanted the lead singer to be Christine instead of Carlotta. And he also said that they should give him the money they owe him for this year, the year they have the opera, as soon as they can.
So there were a few memorandums that they received, right? Not just one note. There were quite a few.
Where would you say?
Police in Athens.
Okay. Is there a reason?
It is one of the most sites,
The most famous sites, yes.
famous sites, and
Have you ever seen the Acropolis?
in the world.
Okay. Have you ever seen the Acropolis? Have you been to the Acropolis?
Yes.
Have you ever been abroad? Have you ever been to, yeah?
Yes, I have been to Germany, I have been to Turkey, and I have been to Holland. All we know that many people travel around the world to see the stars because they like them very much. Looking at the night sky, the stars are very bright and beautiful. And many spaceships went into the moon, but the only man who has walked on the moon is Neil Armstrong, but nobody has ever seen that we all want to see an alien. So, many aliens have big eyes, or many are scary, or many are disgusting, or maybe are cute too.
Which one is your favorite?
Of
What
course,
would you
the
like
cute.
them to be? Eh?
The cute, of course.
And would they speak Greek, English, German, something different?
They're not speaking.
Ah, and how would we know them?
Because this is...
And you don't have to speak with this picture.
yes, it's a cartoon, but I love it.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't you think you love them because you have a very positive...
He's a person who takes photographs of storms and hurricanes, yes. And he gets really close to them so that he can take a nice picture. And that is his job.
Sells probably.
Yeah, he sells pictures.
Right.
He's quite famous. The person we talked about was quite famous.
Storm chaser, you called him?
Storm chasing.
Wow.
But he does his
Nice
job.
profession.
No, because if one storm sadly, I'm going to die. And it's not good.
Okay. Did you like his job? Did you find his job interesting?
Yes, because you can see many different things, but are interesting.
Going back, you mentioned Christine. She is who and does what? Who is this person, Christine?
She's a singer that sings in the opera house. She is very beautiful and young. And she learns how to sing by the angelic voice, which is the Phantom of the Opera.
Okay. And she thinks it's an angelic voice. Why? Why an angel?
Because when she was young, her father had told her about the story.
What's the story? What's the story? Who remembers the details?
He told her that when he would pass away, he would send an angel from heaven to watch out for her and give her the thing she always wanted, which is to have a perfect voice. And that was the angel of music. But he would want something back so he could give her that perfect voice.
Okay, well, we're going to come back to Christine. Going to connect our ghosts here. The Parisians who went to the opera, the people, did they believe that it was haunted?
No, because they all went to see the performances.
They didn't believe it. Why did they go, besides watch the opera?
To have fun with the music, and because sometimes the opera house has like parties.
Like the masquerade ball that they had?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they go to dance, sing.
To see friends, to see the clothes.
To show off their clothes, very elegantly dressed.
Okay.
How long does it take? How long does it take to go from London to Paris, or from Paris to London, Stephanie?
About 3 hours.
About 3 hours, yes. Why do we have a train in the tunnel? No cars are allowed. Why? Mariana?
To avoid the exhaust fumes inside the tunnel.
Yeah.
Because they are singing very loud. They are not singing,
They're screaming.
Yes, they're
It's
screaming.
not true, sweetheart. Neither had I gone before, but when I did go, I enjoyed it. Try it once.
I would like to see a classical.
But you watched the movie.
Yes,
Did you like the movie?
yes.
Even though it was not a movie?
Yes, because the fandom loves Christine, which is a human. And this is very strange and I have never seen it.
Okay. But nonetheless, you enjoyed it, even though they were singing the parts.
Yes.
Okay. Where did the opera begin? Do you remember? We talked about it. Where?
Firstly, it began in Italy, then it became popular in France, and as the years passed, it was more successful across all of Europe.
All of Europe. Okay. Can somebody describe one of these beautiful opera houses? What it looks like? From our book, from pictures, from anything. Go.
It looks like a kingdom. it looks, well, not a kingdom, I'm sorry, a castle.
Mhm.
It looks like a castle because it has very expensive decoration. And it's generally really expensive if you look at it.
So, yes,
All the things are elegant.
very elegant. Wouldn't you like to be in one of these places?
Yes.
Yes? How would you dress? Going back to your fashion before, because would you dress casually or formally?
Formally.
Definitely,
So,
right?